So I labeled, or I chose the theme of rise and shine. So a rise and shine yoga practice. That's what we're going to do today. About 45-ish minutes in there somewhere. And I really wanted us to focus on the concept of ebb and flow. I think in this moment in all of our lives, we really need to be aware of that concept of ebb and flow, things coming and going. Emotionally, um, in all ways, there's going to be this idea of ebb and flow. So, for the most part, see if we can just remain present to this moment, this experience, and let everything else go for the next 45 minutes. I would like us to begin laying down on our backs. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. I'm going to stay seated because I want to talk to you a little bit. I want to help you to breathe a little bit, but I'd like you to be as comfortable as possible. So go ahead and find a way onto your back in a simple posture, corpse pose, knowing that you can change that in any way that feels appropriate for you this morning. So maybe you have your knees bent. Maybe I'll just demonstrate what I mean. So maybe you have your knees bent. If your back is a little bit uncomfortable, you can have your knees bent. You could even take those feet out wide and drop the knees in towards each other. You could bring the soles of your feet together if you like and allow for a little bit of a hip opener. Or you can extend those legs out nice and long on your mat. Allow the toes to drop open to the side and the body to find a way into a relaxed state on your back. So take a moment or two to get yourself comfortable. To begin to switch your focus away from the external experience, everything you were doing before we began our practice this morning, and bring your awareness, your focus, and your attention inward. Notice your internal landscape this morning. Good, and then close your eyes. Allow yourself a few moments to pause. This being human is a guest house. Each morning, a new arrival. So I invite us to be aware of who we are, as we are, and where we are right now. There's really only one way to get through the challenge in front of us. And that literally is breath by breath and moment by moment. In the big picture, the only thing you have to do today is to breathe. Everything else can be considered a choice. At least for now, I'm going to ask you to just breathe. So allowing yourself to be comfortable on your mat, with your eyes softly closed, allow your mind to go on a journey of exploration, noticing the sensations that arise as you explore your body. I want you to think about relaxing your upper chest, relaxing your shoulders, and relaxing the muscles around your neck. We carry a lot of tension in our shoulders, our chest, our neck. So see if you can just invite relaxation into that space. Just keeping our bellies soft. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your breath. Let the breath literally ebb and flow. Let the breath come and go without any effort, without any struggle. And be grateful this morning for the gift of your breath. Continuing with that awareness on our breath, let's notice whether or not we entirely finish the exhale before we begin the next inhale. So be the observer of your own experience and be the observer of your breath. Keep your breath soft. Imagine a candle in front of your nose And you're breathing so softly that the flame is not disturbed. Now take your attention to the 4 parts of your breath. The inhale, the pause between the inhale and the exhale, the exhale, and the pause between the exhale and the inhale. Can you be present to each stage of the breath? Can you allow the inhale to arise on its own? So for a few more moments, we're going to simply breathe. Noticing and observing the breath, and knowing that the breath is a valuable tool to help us find deeper states of relaxation. As we watch the breath, we become a little bit more centered, we become a little bit more grounded. The breath relaxes the body, and it calms the mind and the spirit. And now I invite you to take the longest and deepest inhale that you can, filling your body literally with breath. Hold that breath for a count of 4, and then exhale fully and completely. And then one more time like that. Inhale as deeply as you can, fill the body full of breath, and hold for a count of 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then exhale as completely as you can. And then let the breath find its natural rhythm. Each of us has our own unique breathing pattern, so settle into that breathing pattern. And through your practice today, stay in step with your breath. And as we prepare for our practice this morning, let's come to a place that's free from competition, that's free from judgment, and that's free from any expectation. And if you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. So let's just begin by bringing the soles of our feet onto our mat, tucking our shoulder blades under our back, drawing those shoulders away from the ears, tucking that tummy in just a little bit. And we're going to flow through some just gentle bridge poses. So allow the hands to come down by the sides, walk the heels in a little bit closer to the fingertips and the fingertips a little bit closer to the heels. Tuck that tummy in. And as you inhale, press into your feet and lift your hips. And as you exhale, release 1 vertebrae at a time, slowly bringing the spine back down onto the mat. And then inhaling and lifting the hips. And exhaling and slowly releasing. The ebb and the flow of the breath. Inhaling, lifting, and exhaling, releasing. Good, a few more like that. Inhaling, lifting, and exhaling, releasing. One more time. Inhaling, lifting, and exhaling, releasing. Wonderful. Let's add a little bit of movement with our arms. So on the inhale, let's lift our hips and our right arm, taking the right arm to the back of the mat. And on the exhale, lower the hips and lower the hand. On the inhale, lift the hips and lift the left arm. And on the exhale, slowly release. And just continue with that. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Good. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lifting, and exhale, lowering. One more time. Inhale, lifting, and exhale, lowering. Now on this in-breath, I want you to lift the hips and lift both arms, reaching them, stretching them to the back. And then on the exhale, slowly lower the arms by your sides. Inhale, lift, reach back, and exhale, lower. And 2 more like that. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Awesome. One last time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Wonderful job. Let's gently bring those knees into the chest. You can place your hands behind the knees, or you can interlace the fingers over the shins. And just begin to gently rock side to side. So think about releasing that low back, hugging the knees into the chest, or maybe pausing here, setting the hands on the knees, and just think about circling those knees in one direction. Notice the edges of that low back, getting a nice gentle massage. And then changing directions, going back the other way. Very nice. Awesome. And come to rest at center. Slowly lowering those feet down onto the mat, taking those arms out wide to the sides, palms of the hands open to the ceiling, heel toe your feet out wide. And we're going to just gently tick-tock those knees from side to side. So as the knees are up at center, we're inhaling, and as we exhale, drop those knees over to the right. And on that next inhale, knees up to center, and exhale over to the left. And let's just keep that going. Inhale, knees at center, exhaling to the right, inhaling, knees at center, and exhaling, knees to the left. And one more time, inhaling over to the right, inhaling, and then exhaling to the left. Good. Now inhaling, knees at center, exhaling, knees to the right. If you want a little bit more stretch, take that right ankle, set it on top of the outside of that left thigh. And you can always shift your gaze over towards your left hand, if that feels all right. Gives you a little gentle neck rotation. I'm going to keep looking at you, or at least in your direction, as we gently stretch that IT band, that hip. Good, breathe. Remember, all I want you to focus on this morning is your breath, the ebb and the flow of the breath, in and out, moment by moment, and breath by breath. Releasing that, coming up to center, nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, drop the knees to the left this time, perhaps stacking that left ankle on top of that right thigh, and just allowing the weight of that ankle to stretch that outer hip a little bit more. Shift your gaze to the right, if that feels okay, or go ahead and close your eyes. Again, listen to your body and pay attention to your breath. Slowly drawing those knees back up to center. One more time, hug the knees into your chest and gently rock side to side and ease out some of that tension there. Good, so we're going to come to seated. This is one of my favorite ways to get to seated. So bring your hands behind your thighs, tuck your chin, and a little rock and roll and hover. Tuck your chin, roll down onto your back, roll back up, toes hover on the mat. One more time, tuck the chin, roll down, roll up, and hover and hold. Beautiful. Open that chest. Lift that heart and extend those feet out into a boat pose. So boat pose, balancing pose. What's your balance like today? Breathe. Consider maybe letting go. Keep that chest nice and open. The gaze soft and the breath steady. Bring your hands behind your thighs. Lower your feet. Give yourself a little hug. Round out your spine. Awesome. Now let's come to a seated position on our mat. So coming into a simple seated position, simple cross-legged. Bringing your heart over your hips and your head over your heart. Lift your shoulders up to your ears. Release your shoulder blades down your back. Lengthen your spine. Once again, I want you to find your breath. So inhaling and exhaling. Nice, long, smooth, and deep breath. Let's begin to warm up the body and prepare for a little bit more movement. And let's take our arms out to the side. Again, roll those shoulders back and down, keeping the heart over the hips and the head over the heart. We're going to inhale, float our arms to shoulder height. And on our exhale, bring our forearms to touch. Inhale, lifting up and looking up, heels of the hands behind the head. Lift up and stretch those triceps. Good. Inhale, looking up, reaching up. Exhaling, rain the fingertips down. Good. Inhale, float the arms to shoulder height. Exhale, forearms come to touch. Inhale, look up, reach up. Heels of the hands behind the head. Lift the elbows up. Big exhale. Good. Inhale, reach the hands up. Lift the gaze. Exhale, fingertips rain all the way down. Inhale, float the arms to shoulder height. Exhale, forearms come to touch. Inhale, reach up, look up. Heels of the hands behind the head. Lift and stretch. Inhale, look up, reach up, rain the fingertips down. One more time, just a little bit of movement for those shoulders. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Beautiful job. Reach up, look up, exhale, rain those fingers down. Let's bring our hands all the way behind our hips, pointing the fingers towards the glutes leaning back onto our hands. Draw our shoulder blades together and lift our heart. So you can continue to gaze forward, or you could release the head and neck back. How does that feel for your neck? Get a little stretch for your biceps and your triceps, pressing down into the heels of the hands. Breathing. And if it feels all right, you can always release the head and neck back. Awesome. Slowly coming back, seated nice and tall. Heart over the hips, head over the heart. Lift the shoulders up. Release those shoulder blades down the back. Let's take our hands high. Again, inhaling all the way up. On the exhale, right hand comes down. We're going to reach up and we're going to hinge over to the side. So my daughter is fond, Samantha, those of you that know Samantha, she's fond of the ebb and the flow. So we inhale, rise up, and we exhale, sink in. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink in. So let the body move with the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Good, inhaling. And on that next exhale, slide the hand out. Deepen that stretch a little bit, reaching the fingers one way, shifting the gaze up past the inside of the bicep here. Feel that beautiful stretch from your hip all along the side body. I want you to also be aware of those shoulders, so soften and relax the shoulders. Good, sit up nice and tall. Inhale, both hands high. Exhaling that left hand down, reaching up, hinging now over to the side. And again, a little ebb and flow with the breath. Inhale and then exhale. Good, inhale and then exhale. Good, inhale and exhale. Last one, inhale, slide the hand out. Exhale, deepen that stretch. Again, relax the shoulders, shift the gaze up towards the ceiling, past the inside of the bicep. But really think about extending fingertips, reaching to the side as you explore that side body. Good. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, float those hands down. Good. Roll those shoulders away from the ears. So moving into a little bit of a twist, I want to take our time here this morning and really think about the movement before we just move into the twist. Let's take our right hand behind our hip and start with our left hand on our left thigh. Lengthen the spine, soften the shoulders. Take a nice deep inhale as we lengthen and an exhale as we twist. And simply allow the body to find its place in the twist without forcing. Think about Goldilocks. So if you've been in my classes before, you've heard me talk about Goldilocks. Not too much, not too little, just right. So find that just right place where the breath fills the body, but it's not, there's still ease. There's no struggle in the breath. Good. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, back to center. We're going to keep that right hand behind the hip and bring the left hand now in front of the ankles. Again, lengthen the spine, soften the shoulders, and inhale. And as you exhale, then turn. Your belly, your ribs, your shoulders, your neck and the head will be the last things to move. Good. Inhale deeply and fill the ribs. Exhale completely. And then together, inhale, lengthen, exhale, center. Last time, right hand stays behind the back. Now left hand comes to the outside of that right thigh. Again, we inhale, we lengthen, we relax the shoulders, and then we exhale and we turn. Now see, check your gaze, check your perspective. Breathe. All right, keeping your left hand on the outside of your thigh and your right hand behind your back, little rainbows. Inhale, reach the left hand up. Exhale, sweep the left hand behind you. Inhale, up, and exhale, let it land on the outside of the thigh again. Inhale, and then exhale, and then inhale, and then exhale. And one more time, inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. And then again, lengthen the spine, soften the shoulders, and twist. And breathe. And then inhale and exhale all the way back to center. Let's explore that other side now. So left hand behind the hip, right hand starts on the right thigh. We relax the shoulders, we lengthen the spine. Inhaling and then exhaling. So that first twist takes us a little bit into our range of motion. So without forcing, without torquing the body, without being in a hurry to arrive, simply allow. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, center. You know what? I forgot to do something. Let's switch our... I have a habit of, however I sit down, that's how I stay. Really good to pay attention to the patterns that we establish and sustain. So switch the crossing of the ankles. Now, right hand in front of the ankles, left hand behind the back. Again, lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders, take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, turn and shift the gaze and lengthen the spine. Fill the body with breath. Close your eyes if you like. Notice the internal landscape. Good. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, rotate back to center. Last time. Right hand on the outside of the thigh, left hand behind the back. Inhale again, sitting up tall, relaxing the shoulders. Exhaling, moving as deeply as the body and the breath allow into that twist. Think about Goldilocks though. Not too much, not too little, just right. Find that place. And breathe. Good. Inhale, up. Exhale all the way back. Lift those shoulders up, back, and down. Oh, sorry. Let's come back here. We forgot the rainbows. I forgot the rainbows. All right. Right here. Find all of that length. Inhaling, exhaling, turning. Taking that right hand. Inhale up. Exhale. Reach it back behind. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale back. And inhale up. And exhale down. Two more. Inhale. And then exhale, and last one. Inhale, and then exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, and exhale, and time for one last twist. Lengthen the spine and turn. So twists are amazing for your body. They are smart poses. They give your body and your mind what it needs in the moment. Together, lengthen the spine. Inhaling, exhaling back to center. Bend those knees up in front of us, roll the shoulders back and down, bring the belly to rest on the thighs, and start to ease the heels forward, coming into our first seated forward fold. So a little bit of stretch for the hamstrings and the calf, a release for the low back. Think about your heart coming towards your feet. So if your hamstrings are tight or your back is tight, keep your knees a little bit bent. Know that this can be your forward fold. It does not have to be any deeper than that. So listen to your body. Pay attention to the sensations of your own body this morning. Let your heart come towards your feet. Tuck your chin towards your chest and explore the backside of your body here as you stretch from your heels to the crown of your head. Take a nice deep in breath and then an exhale. Take a nice deep breath in, rising up. And exhaling, falling into the space that you're creating with your breath. Think about your breath like when you're making the bed and you're fluffing the sheets. So on the inhale, lifting those sheets big, exhale, and release back down. Let the breath and the sheets settle. Pause and hold. Good, and then when you're ready, keep your chin tucked. Slowly come up. And let's move into tabletop position. So sweeping your legs to the back of your mat, coming into tabletop position, wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. I really wish I had music, but I had 2 pieces of technology. That was more than I could handle this morning. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, shoulders away from the ears, cores engaged. Let's flow a little bit with our breath here. So lift your hips, drop your belly, and lift your gaze. Take a nice deep inhale. Tuck your tailbone, round your back, and tuck your chin, and exhale. Inhaling, lifting up and opening. Exhaling, tucking and rounding. Keep that going. Inhaling, lifting up and exhaling, tucking and rounding. Good. 2 more like that. Inhale, lifting up and exhaling. 1 last time. Inhaling, lifting up and exhaling. Good, and hold right here in your cat pose, maybe even coming up onto your fingertips like an angry cat, rounding out that thoracic spine, really drawing the chin towards the chest, really drawing that belly button in towards the spine. Good, gently turn your head here side to side. Keep everything relaxed and loose as you round. Awesome, and then settle back in to that neutral spine position. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Draw the tummy in. Let's take our right leg back behind us. Flex that foot. Lift it just about to the height of the hip. Think about drawing the inner thighs together so that you're not opening up, so that you're not shifting your weight onto the left side of your body. It's an extension from the hip out the heel, so extend out through that heel. Good, and then when you're ready, lift the left arm to the height of the shoulder and reach that forward, like you're reaching in 2 directions. To the front of the room, to the back of the room, extending right from the center of your body. Nice deep inhale as you extend, and on your exhale, bring your knee and your elbow together. Inhale, reaching out, nice and strong. Exhale, tucking and rounding. Beautiful. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, tuck and round. A little bit of core work this morning. Inhale, reach, and exhale, tuck and round. Good. 2 more like that. Inhale, and then exhale. And last one, inhale. And then exhale, hold right here, round, 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 round. Press into that right hand, round out that spine. Good, inhale, extend. Lower the hand and take that right leg, sweep it over to the left. Now, draw your shoulders away from your ears, and if it's all right, look over your shoulder towards that left heel. Drawing the inner thighs together, lengthening the right side body. Awesome. Hold and breathe. Good. Slowly come back to center. We're going to take that right leg now all the way over to the left. It's going to land on the floor, and we're going to move through a little bit of thread the needle here. So on the inhale, I want you to stay right here. Inhale here, and on your exhale, I want you to weave through, shoulder coming down to the mat. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, weaving through. Again, flow with that breath. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale down and hold, if that's all right. Bring the shoulder down to the mat. So rearrange things so that it's comfortable. Keep this knee a little bit soft. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Close your eyes if you like, or walk your fingertips towards the front of the mat and deepen that rotation, but only if it seems like a good idea. So for 3 full breaths, stay here. In through the nose and out. And in through the nose and out. And one more time, in through the nose and out. Lovely. Slowly bring that hand underneath your shoulder. Press yourself back up to tabletop. And I'm going to spin around so that I can keep my eyes on you. And we're going to come back to tabletop position for our spinal balance. So now shoulders away from the ear. We're going to begin by taking that left leg back now. Flex that foot and lift it to the height of the hip. Now draw your inner thighs together. And then when you're ready, lift the right arm to the height of the shoulder. Expand the body from the center, from your core. And breathe. Keep your gaze down on your mat. Inhaling. And on your exhale now, bring your knee and elbow together and round your back. And then on your inhale, extend, flex the foot and reach back through the heel. And on the exhale, tuck and round. Good. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, tucking and rounding. Beautiful job. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, tucking and rounding. Last one. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, tuck and round and hold. Really pressing into the hand, rising up into the shoulders. Squeezing. Good. And then inhale, reaching out. Lower the hand. Point the foot. Now sweep it all the way to the right. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Look over your shoulder towards your heels. Again, continue to squeeze those inner thighs together. And breathe right here. Can you see your heel as you open up that left side body. Good, and then when you're ready, bring that leg all the way now over to the left and plant it on the floor. And we're going to do that little thread the needle. So we inhale here, we exhale, weaving through. We inhale up, and we exhale down. We inhale up, and we exhale down. Last one, inhale up, and exhale down and hold, settling the shoulder down on the mat, softening that knee, perhaps tiptoeing the fingers to the top of the mat, and arranging ourselves perhaps a little bit deeper. Again, listen to your own body. Notice how it feels. Change anything about the posture that does not lead you to a place of ease. Balance between effort and surrender. And then breathe 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out. In through the nose and out. And one last time, in through the nose and out. And slowly pressing yourself back up, coming back to that tabletop position. I'm going to spin around one more time. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Let's bring our big toes together, knees wide across our mat, and allow ourselves to come into our first child's pose. So take the hips towards the heels, walk the hands forward. Let your head come down in between your biceps. Think about opening, stretching the muscles on the front side of the body, relaxing the muscles on the back side of the body, opening the hips, stretching the quads, stretching the shins and the ankles, and allowing our focus and our attention and our awareness to move inward. Be aware of who you are, as you are, where you are, right now. And allow yourself just to be here. Take one more deep breath. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, sink down. And then slowly coming up. Wrists under the shoulders again, knees under the hips, shoulders away from the ear, core engaged. Let's move into our first downward facing dog. So we're going to go ahead and curl our toes. We're going to lift our shins and let them hover above the mat. So just an inch or so above the mat. And then shift back so that your belly can come to your thighs and the weight is in the back side of your body. Then begin to straighten the legs a little bit or a lot. Keep your hands where they are. Maybe walk your toes back a little bit. As you spread your fingers out nice and wide and press that mat forward, then lean back into your hips and your thighs. Spend a few moments lifting and lowering the heels, walking your dog, pedaling out those heels to get that nice stretch for the calves and the hamstrings. Good. While we're here, let's think about a letting go breath. So nice deep in through the nose and open the mouth and exhale, sigh it all out. One more time. Let go of anything that doesn't serve you today. Inhale and exhale. Good. Let's just turn our head a little bit side to side. Keep everything relaxed and loose. Beautiful job. Look at your toes. Settle into that downward facing dog. One more breath. And now when you're ready, looking at your hands, we're going to inhale forward into plank. So nice strong plank, energizing the body. Reaching back through the heels, reaching forward through the crown, bringing the front side of your body to meet the back side of your body nice and strong. On your exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Pause, lift and lower the heels, get that nice stretch for the back side of the body. And on that next inhale, come back to your plank pose, nice and strong. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, reach back through the heels, reach forward through the crown. Strong and steady. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. And one last time, inhaling forward, nice strong plank. So for those of you like me that maybe want a little bit of a more gentle practice, today we're going to lower our knees. We're going to shift our body forward and tuck our elbows in tight to our rib cage. And then we're going to lower all the way down onto our mat. And come into our first cobra pose. Actually, let's come into Sphinx pose. So just a nice gentle back bend. So elbows right underneath the shoulders. Hands and forearms parallel to each other. Roll those shoulders away from the ears. Draw the elbows towards the hips and let that heart come forward. Good, so you're gazing forward, not necessarily looking up, just gazing forward past the end of your mat. Press into your feet. Engage the legs. Sphinx pose, just a little bit of a back bend. Energizing the body. Exhale, release down. Bring your hands by the lowest part of your rib cage. Inhale, and then exhale all the way back into your child's pose. Big, long stretch here. Together, we're going to curl our toes, lift our knees, downward facing dog. Looking at our hands, inhaling forward into our plank. It can be full plank, it can be modified. Bring the knees down if you like. Shift forward, tuck the elbows, lower all the way down. And then on the in-breath, let's come to cobra. Lift the forehead and the chest. Again, draw the heels of the hands now towards the hips as the heart comes forward. Press into the feet. Energize the legs. Inhale, and then exhale back. Child's pose, big stretch. Lift the forehead, look at the hands. Curl the toes, lift the knees. Downward facing dog, big breath. On that inhale, come forward in your plank, full or modified. On the exhale, lower all the way down. Inhaling, lifting up, just a little cobra pose. Exhaling all the way back to your child's pose. And then from that child's pose, look at your hands. Curl your toes and lift your knees, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, looking at the hands, tiptoe to the top of your mat for your first forward fold. Go ahead and soften those knees. Bring your belly to rest on your thighs and let your head fall down towards the floor. So find a grounding place for your hands. If that means you need to bend your knees more, then go ahead and bend your knees. If you need to have your hands resting on your ankles, go ahead and do that. If you need a block or something in front of your toes to help not overstretch or strain those hamstrings, then go ahead and find that. Tuck the chin into the hollow of your throat and gently turn your head side to side. Keep everything relaxed and loose. Again, just breathe. On your next inhale, hands on the shins looking forward. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, flattening that back, hugging the belly button towards the spine. And on the exhale, forward fold, release down. Bend those knees and inhale, rise all the way up. Palms of the hands together, exhaling hands to your heart center, hands by your sides for your mountain pose. So stepping into mountain pose, that blueprint pose, everything we need to know about our practice we learn right here. Stack joint on top of joint for stability, knees on top of ankles, hips on top of knees, shoulders on top of hips. Lift the shoulders up, release the shoulders down the back. Turn the palms of the hands forward. Slide the thumbs back. Steady the breath. Close your eyes if you like and find the ebb and flow of your breath. Let the breath move, inhaling up the front side of the body and exhaling down the back side of the body. Good. 2 more like that, inhaling up the front side of the body and exhaling down the back side of the body. 1 more time, inhaling, nice deep breath and exhaling. And then slowly open your eyes. So we're going to move through some sun salutations. I'm going to do a few variations of sun salutations, whatever inspires me in the moment. Again, stack joint on top of joint for stability. Lift those shoulders up, release the shoulder blades down the back, and find your breath, and let's move together. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, forward fold. Soften your knees. Hands on your shins, flat back, look forward. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bend those knees, step your right foot back and your left foot to downward facing dog. When you're ready, look at your hands and inhale forward in your plank, full plank or modified. Exhale, lower down. Now find your up pose. Maybe it's cobra. Maybe it's upward facing dog. And then exhaling back, perhaps child's pose. And then downward facing dog. Let's step our right foot forward and our left for forward fold. Hands on the shins, nice flat back, look forward. Exhale, fold. Bend those knees, inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold, soften the knees. Hands on the shins, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, left foot back, low lunge. Right foot to downward facing dog. Again, look at your hands and inhale forward in your plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift to your up pose. Exhale, perhaps through child's pose first, and then to downward facing dog. Look at your hands and step your left foot forward, and then your right forward fold. Half lift again, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend those knees, inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good, this time inhale, rise up and interlace your fingers and extend your index fingers. Take a big breath, inhaling up, exhaling, hinging to the right. Inhaling up to center, exhaling to the left. Inhaling up to center and exhaling now to forward fold. Half lift again, looking forward. Exhaling, forward fold, bend your knees. Right foot back, low lunge. Left foot downward facing dog. On your inhale, come forward in your plank. On your exhale, lower down. Inhale your up pose cobra or maybe upward facing dog. And now perhaps exhaling downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward and then the left forward fold. Inhaling half lift and exhaling forward fold. Bending those knees, inhale, rising up and interlacing at the top, reaching up temple mudra. Exhale, hinge to the right, up to center and over to the left. And up to center, and then right back to forward fold on the exhale. Hands on the shins, inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Good, left foot steps back, low lunge. Right foot now, downward facing dog. Again, as we inhale, we come forward in our plank. We exhale, lower down. Inhale, your up pose, cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhale now, downward facing dog, big stretch. Left foot steps forward and then the right forward fold. Half lift, flat back and exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, interlace those fingers at the top, reach, extend, exhale, hinge to the right. Now up to center and over to the left and up to center and exhale again for your forward fold. Half lift here, looking forward. Exhaling, forward fold, bend the knees. Let's step that right foot back and hold our low lunge. So wiggle back through that right heel. Let the heart and the crown of the head come forward and let the shoulders move away from the ears. Let that back leg be buoyant. Don't let your hips sag and sink. Tuck that tummy in. Beautiful stretch for your hip flexor. Take a moment here. And then when you're ready, bring that right knee down, perhaps uncurl the toes. Bring the hands up to rest on the thighs, lift the shoulders up, and drop the shoulders away from the ears. Settle into this hip flexor stretch. So let the hips come forward, let the shoulders stack on top of the hips, let your heart and your chest be open. And breathe. Fill up that container with breath. Breath by breath and moment by moment. That's how we're going to get through the challenge of our practice, and that's how we're going to get through the challenge right in front of us. Bring your left forearm to rest on your thigh. Sweep your right arm up, hinge over to the side, open up through that side body. Awesome job. Bring the hands to frame that forward foot. Shift back and pick your toes up and walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Find a little hamstring, calf stretch. Keep the knee a little bit soft. And now consider bringing body weight into it. Hinging forward, chin tucking towards the chest. A little bit or a lot. Listen to your own body here. Find your own way. Good. Slowly rolling onto the sole of that foot. Curl the toe. Lift the knee. We're stepping back to downward facing dog. Again, take a moment or two to stretch out nice and long. You know, you can always go to child's pose here if you need to. Listen to your body. Spread those fingers out wide. Press the hands forward. Lean back into the hips and the thighs. And then when you're ready, inhale, come forward in your plank. Exhale, lower down. Good. Inhale, lift to your up pose. And exhale to your downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward and follow it with your left for forward fold. And release down. Hands on your shins, flat back, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Bend those knees, inhale, rise to the top. Interlacing those fingers, hinging over to the right, and up to center, and over to the left, and up to center, and then exhale, forward fold, soften the knees. Hands on the shins, flat back, look forward, and exhale, forward fold. Take a bend in your knees and step your left foot back into your low lunge. So again, wiggle back and create length through that hip flexor. Let the heart come forward, let the head come forward, but draw the shoulders away. Stretch and breathe. And then together, let's bring that back knee down, top of the foot rests. Bring the hands up onto the thighs, slowly stack the shoulders on top of the hips. Let the hips sink down a little bit. Keep your tummy tucked to protect that low back, but open the chest. Keep the neck long. Now resting that right forearm, take that left arm up, hinge over to the side, open up through those ribs, and breathe. And then slowly bring the hands to frame that front foot. Shift back, pick the toes up. Draw the toes towards the shin. Again, keep a little softness in that knee. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Keep the core engaged. And if you like, if it feels like a good idea, remember Goldilocks, hinging at the hips, bringing body weight into the stretch. Take your time. Time, patience, gravity. That's what's going to make the change. Inhale and exhale. And then slowly coming onto the sole of that foot. Curl the toe, lift the knee. We're stepping back to that downward facing dog again. Lift and lower those heels. Looking at your hands, inhaling forward in your plank. Exhaling, lowering down. Good, inhale to your up pose. Exhaling again to your downward facing dog. Nice big stretch. Look at your hands and step that left foot forward. Follow it with the right for forward fold. Half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend those knees, inhale, rise up. One more time, interlace the fingers, extend the index fingers, hinge to the right. Up to center, over to the left. Up to center and hands at your heart center. And back to your mountain pose. Awesome. I am feeling much more warmed up. I am feeling a little bit more risey and shiny this morning. Okay, so we're gonna take that little bit of a sequence between our crescent lunge and our modified pyramid. We're gonna add movement and breath. We might do one more flow after that, and then we're gonna land back down on our mats. So come to your mountain pose. Stack joint on top of joint for stability. Lift the shoulders up. Release those shoulder blades down the back. Reach the fingers to the floor. Draw the thumbs back. Lift the heart. Lengthen the spine. Steady the breath. Smooth, steady breath. One more. Think about inhaling breath up the front side. Exhaling breath down the back side. Good, inhale, reach the hands high. And this time, hands behind the back for a little chest expansion, interlacing, drawing those shoulder blades together on the back side of the body, lifting the heart. And then if it's okay, bend your knees, rest your belly on your thighs, lift your hips and drop your head, and just maintain looseness in the neck and the shoulders. So gently move the head side to side, don't lock out those knees. Hands can stay close to the low back. Again, explore that range of motion in your shoulders. See how that feels for you this morning. Without the need to push past any type of resistance. Wherever you find resistance, match it with your breath. Okay, we're going to float our hands down to the floor, forward fold. Hands on our shins, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Now stepping right foot back, low lunge. Bring it right down into our crescent lunge and inhale, hands up. Good, this time, palms of the hands together, heels of the hands behind our head, little tricep stretch, look up, lean back. Good, inhale up, and exhale, frame that forward foot, shifting back and picking the toes up. Rolling onto the sole of that foot, coming into that downward facing dog if that's all right. You know, you can always hang out here, you can come into your child's pose if you like, Or if you need a little bit more work this morning, inhaling forward in your plank, exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling, lifting to your up pose, and exhaling. Again, downward facing dog. We're going to step our right foot forward and then our left for forward fold. Half lift flat back and exhale, forward fold. Bend those knees, inhale, rise up. Again, hands behind the back for that chest expansion, interlacing, reaching down and opening the heart. Pause and breathe. And then bend your knees, belly on your thighs. Lift your hips and drop your head. Keep everything relaxed and loose. No stress, no strain. No effort, just ease. Steadiness in the body, steadiness in the breath. Float your hands to the floor, forward fold. Hands on your shins, flat back, look forward. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Now left foot steps back, low lunge. Take it to that crescent lunge. We inhale up and we exhale into that little tricep stretch. Lifting the elbows back, perhaps leaning back just a little bit of a back bend. Inhale and exhale and shift back for that hamstring stretch. Roll forward, curl the toe, lift the knee, and step back into your downward facing dog. Again, you can always rest. You can come into child's pose, or you can just hang out in your downward facing dog. Listen to your own body. Inhale forward in your plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to your up pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now let's step that left foot forward and then the right for forward fold. Half lift again, flat back, and exhale, fold. Bend those knees, inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart and hands by your sides. Mountain pose, lift those shoulders up. Roll those shoulders back and down. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, look forward, and exhale, fold. Step your right foot back. Left foot to downward facing dog. And we're going to take this downward facing dog to a twist. So again, think of downward facing dog like an upside down V shape. So think about that shape and then find that shape in your body. Spread those fingers out wide. Lean back into your hips and your thighs. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. And then imagine there's headlights on your shoulders, on the fronts of your shoulders. I want you to spin those headlights till they shine kind of out at an angle. So you're rolling your armpits underneath your body and you're broadening your collarbones. And then step your feet out nice and wide. Again, leaning back into your hips and your thighs. You can keep your weight equally balanced on both sides of your body. Pick your right hand up, reach for your left thigh, calf, or ankle, and then turn and look out underneath that left armpit. Twisted dog, a couple of breaths. Let's set that right hand down. Take a moment to set your foundation again. Draw those shoulders away from the ears. Keep everything relaxed and loose in the neck and the shoulders. Keep that weight equally balanced on both sides of your body, and then pick your left hand up, reach for your right thigh, calf, or ankle, and allow your gaze to look out underneath that right armpit. I typically am quite confused which is the right side of my body and the left side of my body. One more breath. And set that hand down. Step your feet together at the back of your mat. Look at your toes and walk your hands to the back of your mat for a standing forward fold. Soften the knees and release down. Grasp your left elbow with your right hand, your right elbow with your left hand. Let your head be framed within your arms and everything with the weight of gravity just drawing towards the mat. And let it all go. Let go of any judgment, let go of any expectation. And in this moment, let go of any competition with yourself or with anyone else. But allow your hands to float to the floor. And then bring your hands on your shins, nice flat back again. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bend those knees and inhale. Rise all the way up. Palms of your hands together, Hands to your heart center, sinking into chair pose. So hips going back, shoulders away from the ears, gaze is lifted. Just bring your hands to your heart center here. Belly on your thighs, hands to your floor, forward fold. Let the head fall down, weighted by gravity. Just look forward like you would for half lift, and then walk your hands back into your downward facing dog one last time this morning. Pressing forward, leaning back. And then slowly coming down. Bringing your big toes together, knees wide across the mat. Hips go back and hands come forward. Finding your way into your child's pose. Again, pausing and breathing. So just stay here in your child's pose for a few moments before we transition to some seated postures, and then finally we're going to land on our backs. This being human is a guest house. Each morning it's a new arrival. So just for this moment, be aware of who you are, as you are, and where you are right now. Take your attention back to the 4 parts of your breath. Notice the inhale. Notice the pause between the inhale and the exhale. Notice the exhale. And notice the pause between the exhale and the inhale. Child's pose is a safe pose. Stay here just for another moment. And then slowly lifting your gaze, walk your hands towards your knees, tuck those knees in. Take your hands over to one side, drop down onto your hip, and sweep your legs forward. Start in cobbler's pose. So a little inner thigh stretch. Soles of the feet together, walk the hips and the sit bones a little bit closer. Wrap your hands around your ankles and your elbows to your inner thighs. Lengthen your spine and apply a little bit of pressure here. So just a little bit of pressure into the inner thighs to deepen that stretch if it seems like a good idea. Again, if you're noticing anything about your body that seems to be not a good idea, then go ahead and change that. What shape suits you best in this moment? Good, smooth and steady breath. Slowly rising up. Keep the soles of your feet together. Slide your feet a little bit forward and keep your knees lifted if you can. And then hinge the body forward, coming down in between the thighs. A little bit more release for the low back. A little bit more outer hip stretch. Tuck the chin towards the chest. Stay here for a few breaths. And just watching, observing the breath. Noticing the sensations of your body this morning. No hurry, no rush, nowhere to go. Simply be here in this moment as you are right now. Good, keeping the soles of the feet together, sliding the feet a little bit further forward, and then perhaps weaving your hands underneath, reaching for the tops of your feet, soften the shoulders, and one more time, hinge down. This time, just allow gravity to take over as you get that IT band stretch. So breathe into the back of your body now. See if you can fill your lungs so deeply that you feel the breath more on the back side of your body than on the front side of your body.
know about you guys, but I find I'm holding a lot of tension in my body. My tension, I hold a lot in my jaw. I'm so aware of how often I clench my jaw. So notice where you are holding tension in your own body, and see if you can encourage that part of your body to let go, to not hold on so tightly. Relinquish control. Maybe just for today, relinquish control and simply go with the flow. Good. Slowly, let's unwind ourselves from that. Bring the soles of the feet onto the floor. Round out your spine. Give yourself a little hug. We're going to roll down onto our backs. So rolling down onto our backs, nice and slow, taking our time, hugging our knees back into our chest, maybe hands again on the hamstrings, maybe fingers interlacing over the shins as we hug the thighs to the body, and just gently rocking. So notice all parts of that low back. And take your time here. Maybe you need a little bit of extra attention, the weight of your body, giving you that gentle massage that, none of us can go to our massage therapists in this moment, so we got to do some things ourselves. Good, and then come to rest at center. Bring your knees to 90 degrees and cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Reach through that little window and interlace your fingers behind that thigh, and then roll back down. I want you to notice your shoulders. Shoulders away from your ears, shoulder blades together on your back. Hugging that thigh in towards your body, and maybe the left forearm or elbow pressing into your left thigh. Let's just rotate that right ankle a little bit. Give that ankle and that foot a little bit of love this morning. Wiggle out those toes or point and flex and breathe. And let's change this to a hamstring stretch. So lifting that heel. Pin the right sit bone or hip to the mat as you lift the heel to the ceiling. Keep your neck nice and long. Good. On that next exhale, you're going to lower that right leg off to the side, and you're going to bring your left foot on the outside of that right thigh. I'm going to grab onto my left ankle and try to keep my shoulders down. Good. Now just flex that right foot. Lift your left arm up and hinge over to the side. Again, exploring that left side body. Reminding yourself, everything I say is simply a suggestion. So if this doesn't feel good in your body, find something else that stretches the outer part of the hip and the low back that would feel good in this moment. I don't have a name for this pose. I just know it feels good. And lower that hand. Bring those knees back into the chest. And we're going to switch sides. So knees at 90, crossing right ankle now over left thigh. Reaching behind, interlacing, shoulders away from the ears, shoulder blades together on the back. And taking time to rotate that left ankle now. Good. So just pay attention to your alignment. Even when you're laying on your mat, we still want to find a good neutral position for our bodies. So shoulders away from the ears, neck stays nice and long. Feel the whole spine on the mat if you can. All right, let's point and flex a little bit. Let's wiggle those toes a little bit. And then that little bit of a hamstring stretch. So flexing that foot, lifting up through the heel like you're trying to pin that foot to the ceiling as you anchor that left hip down. Good, another breath. And then on that next exhale, slowly lower that left foot down, and you're going to bring that right foot on the outside of that left thigh. So if we were in a seated position, this is similar to how we would do a seated twist. Reach your right arm up and hinge over to the left and open up through those right ribs. And breathe into those ribs. Increasing that space in your rib cage, space for breath. Good, and then slowly bringing that hand down, unwinding those those legs. Knees hugging back into the chest one more time. And then hands behind the knees. Draw the knees to the outside of the ribs and lift the soles of the feet up for happy baby. One last hip opening stretch. Your hands can stay right here. Your hands can reach up. You can wrap your fingers around your big toes, or you can reach for the outer edges of your feet. Again, finding what feels good in your body while trying to keep your spine long on your mat. You can rock side to side. You could lengthen those legs if you like. Again, tune into the sensation of your body and pay attention to what would feel good for you in this moment. We're moving towards the end of our practice, our time together, to that final relaxation pose. Most important pose of our practice. It's our reset. So I hope you have enjoyed your practice with me this morning. I've enjoyed it very much. It felt good to be back. It would be better if you were in this room with me. Soon. Soon, my friends. Very soon. Awesome. Slowly come back to center. Lower your feet down onto your mat. Walk your feet out wide. Reach your arms out to the side like wings. Draw your shoulder blades under your back. Take a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, just let those knees drop over to the right. And go ahead and shift your gaze to the left hand if that feels okay. Gently bring those knees up to center, and on that exhale, with gravity, drop the knees to the left and shift your gaze to the right or close your eyes. And breathe. Gently draw your knees up to center. And then think about anything else you might need to do before we settle down into that final relaxation pose. If you like, this might feel good. Bring the soles of your feet together. Lift your hips up for a moment. Tuck your tailbone. Find your low back resting on the mat. Relax the body. Let the hands fall open at the sides or over your head, or rest them on your belly. Close your eyes. You know that you could always keep your knees bent and your knees dropping in towards each other if your back is still not feeling awesome this morning. Or if you like, that final relaxation in corpse pose, fully surrendered. Taking the legs out nice and wide, long and wide, letting the toes soften to the side walls, letting the body sink into the support of the mat beneath it. Hands away from the body, eyes closed or gaze soft. And breathing. Once again, bringing your awareness back to your breath. Let that breath relax the body. Let the breath calm and center the mind. Let the breath carry you today through the challenge of this day. Moment by moment and breath by breath. Slowly scan through your body. Once again, noticing with appreciation all parts of your body, starting from your toes and moving up to your ankles, your calves, your knees, your hips, your low back, your belly, the front side of your body, and now the back side of the body. Notice and be grateful for your shoulders, for your elbows, your wrists, and your fingertips. Notice with gratitude your face. It is the divine visible to each other. Relax your face. Soften any creases from your forehead. Soften the muscles around your eyes.
Soften the bridge of your nose. Relax your jaw. Perhaps allow a slight smile to come to your face. And then give yourself a few moments to simply surrender. Surrender to the postures. The difficult ones reflect life's struggles. The sweet ones are joy. Surrender to the outcome of your actions. They are not in your control. Each day, each practice, just do your best. Surrender to the actions of the universe, the marvel of nature, the things you never saw coming. Surrender to your present difficulties, the pain and the losses, especially to the things you tried so hard to control but couldn't. Surrender to the definition of yourself, your judgments. They are just your way of limiting who you are. Have a deep and unwavering trust that right now you are where you are meant to be. Feel the universe working beautiful magic through you. So I'm going to leave you right where you are. Perhaps you've already come to seated. Perhaps you're still laying on your back in corpse pose. Once again, I am just grateful for you all for coming to practice with me this morning. If you are seated, feel free to take a nice deep breath with me. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, bringing your hands to your heart center. The light in me honors and respects the light in you, and that means namaste. Have a wonderful day. I will see you soon.